Hey, welcome to round one with Green White Depths. We found our match, so looking forward to get off the board with a win against Battle Res Thumbs. The set's not too bad. So we have a great curve here. So turn 1 Giver into turn 2 Tomik into turn 3 Knight with one piece of the combo. I really like this as well because we have the mana for Tomik, we have Thespian Stage, which is also the third mana we need for another Reliquary, so this seems great. If anything, this is just probably a little bit weak to some of the faster combo decks of the format, but I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. Misty Pass. Doesn't tell us too much. Elvish Reclaimer. So I think I want to get Giver online first, over the Elvish Reclaimer. If we are against the Bolt deck, I kind of want to make sure this Elvish Reclaimer is a little bit bigger as well. It's a very minute. Looks like a Force of Will here. But they're not going to force it, okay. I was going to say, like, right now we're showing that we're Death and Taxes. I don't think many people would pull from this that we're actually on Green White Depths, so that's a little advantage of going with Giver first, especially off just the Plains and not the Savannah. Fatal Push, okay. This makes me feel like it's going to be either Blue-Black Shadow or maybe some sort of 4-color control deck. Because Fatal Push isn't seeing too much play right now, outside of the sort of control decks that are, of course, using black for things like Fatal Push or Thoughtseize. We do know that our opponent has a Force of Will, though, so that'll be interesting to see what I actually want to do with that. We do have the option of just going next turn basic Forest off this Verdant Catacombs and cast the Reclaimer, but I'm pretty happy to go for a Savannah into Tomik. Ponder, okay. Can really do 6 here. I think we're pretty favored against these sort of decks. They definitely have a lot of answers, but we have a great amount of ways to actually attack. That's a nice draw, because now we just naturally have the combo as well. But I'm still pretty happy to cast this Tomik and hopefully see it resolve. Force pitching Jace, okay. You know, 2 for 1 isn't too bad, especially when you're taking a Jace out of your opponent's hand, so... I think next turn I'm still just going to go Thespian Stage Knight if my opponent doesn't have something like a Wasteland. I think game 1, my opponent's out to Dark Depths is most likely some sort of sack effect. So making sure that Elvish Reclaimer is there to kind of take that hit for the team, I think is pretty important. Snapcaster Ponder. So one thing that's interesting is that if I do play Knight next turn and don't play the Verdant Catacombs, the Knight's only going to be a 2-2. So it does die to something like Colligan's Command. Both of these do die to Bolt, but they're a little bit... I still like playing the Knight. It's actually funny because if they try to destroy the Knight and make us discard with Colligan's Command, we can discard a land, and then it resolves, and then when state-based actions are checked, this will actually be a 3-3. So I don't mind that. They might also force this if they have it, because they can see we have one part of the... Interesting. I was going to say because we have one part of the combo, but looks like it won't matter right now. Playing Engineer is going to be fine. Definitely no blocks here. So because we have access to Ancient Tomb in the deck, we can actually maybe cast this Elvish Reclaimer here. So we can play Dark Depths and then just hold up the Night activation. Which I definitely don't mind. Now we can just pass back. I don't believe our opponent would have a Wasteland in the deck, being a 4-color control deck. We haven't seen green yet, but of course they could be a Ren deck with like one Wasteland around. Jace the Mind Sculptor is going to be fine, especially if they're tapping out. Not too sure what their plan is here. It's an interesting Jace as well. It must be a box topper. They're going to bounce the Elvish Reclaimer. That's going to be fine. If I really wanted to keep it around, I could use Step off Night, but we're just going to let that resolve. So now we can just float a mana, sack planes, go and get a forest, copy Dark Depths, keep the Thespian stage copy and let it trigger. It'll have no counters, so we'll get a 20/20. And we'll get the game, so pretty lucky there. Sideboard's going to be interesting. I think I like Veil and Thalia. Although we did see the Plague Engineer, I'm not sure if it's going to be kept in. Gaddock Teeg's interesting. It stops Force of Will and Jace being the two big cards. I'm not too sure if that's worth it. I think we can definitely take out something like Knight of Autumn. Scavenging Ooze is interesting, mainly for the Snapcaster Mage interaction. I think Sylvan Safekeeper might be able to get taken out because of the human clause of Plague Engineer most likely going for human. And then maybe just one Tomik. Thalia on the draw as well maybe actually isn't that great. Especially with Plague Engineers in the deck. So maybe I'd rather play something like Gaddock Teeg. And maybe it's worth keeping Knight just in case they bring in something like Grafdigger's Cage or Pithing Needle as a way to answer either Green Suns or the combo. I don't really care about removing Plague Engineer, so I'm not going to worry about Path. So I'm actually just going to make those sort of subtle changes here. The Veil mainly for hand disruption, but it's also nice that if they try to force something, we can cast Veil and try to make it uncounterable. And this hand actually seems great. The Sylvan Library is going to be really nice. And the Veil of Summer is great if they don't lead on Thoughtseize, so we'll keep this. We also have a really nice stable mana base, and can rely on the Sylvan Library and Green Suns to find us either part of the combo or creatures that can get us the combo. Wasteland start, interesting. So here I'm pretty happy just to go Forest Pass. Holding up that Veil of Summer. Wasteland a pretty awkward draw for them because it is a card that you don't want to have in your opening hand usually, especially if you're trying to cast a lot of sort of double mana spells straight away. Mox Diamond's actually a really nice draw because it allows us to actually play this Sylvan Library around Counter Magic with Veil of Summer. So looking at this Wasteland, we're going to play a Plains, cast Mox Diamond, pitching the Savannah. Opponent having a think, but I don't think this is worth even trying to like Spell Pierce. Gonna discard Savannah, and then here we can cast this Sylvan Library. Opponent going to force it. We will definitely Veil of Summer. It's a pretty nice win there. Now we'll pass back. So this is a matchup where I'm really happy to be quite aggressive with the Sylvan Library, because from a threat base and clock perspective, my opponent can't really take advantage of us being at a low life, other than attacking with Snapcast Mages and Plague Engineers. I think we just 6 here. We can't really do anything anyway. Oko, interesting. They can take the Mox Diamond if they want. Crop Rotation's a great draw. We can definitely put back the Dark Depths. And maybe just pay 4 for this. I'm just going to play the Dark Depths. I do have the option of crop rotating here, but it's not great against the Yoko. So I'm just going to pass back. This Oko also puts them above. Well, it did put them above 21 life. But now it won't. Astrolabe's fine. Oko is definitely an issue because it makes us play at instant speed in the end step. And also the life gain is relevant here. I wonder if it's worth bringing in Force of Vigor just because we know about the Astrolabe and food. This is interesting. I think it's worth crop rotating here. ditching the forest because we can find another one with these 2 fetches. They probably should Wasteland here in response, but they're not going to. We'll go for stage, and then allow us to resolve. We get a shuffle as well, which is really relevant, because that Dark Depths on top of the library was probably a little bit dead. So there's actually a thought here if I do want to activate the Dark Depths to get this Wasteland off the field. Which I think is worth it. Because then if they do it incorrectly, we keep the stage. If they do it correctly, we don't. But I think either way, we're in a pretty good position if we're trying to. Interesting, so they go after the stage. Okay. Reclaimer. Crop. Okay. I'm just going to put this back and pay for this. Happy to play a Verdant. Fetch for a forest. Now, do I want to hold up the combo? Green Suns for 2. Or play Reclaimer. I think I just want to hold up the combo again. However, if my opponent is on Ren and gets back to Wasteland, they can put me in a position where they'll have Wasteland online before they use Oko, so they can Wasteland me, and if I use the Dark Depths, then they're going to be able to steal it. But I think here I'm actually happy just to pass back. We're also at 8, so this food token is going to get there pretty fast. Especially if they make this Astrolabe also a creature. Puts us down to 2. No blocks. I guess Bolt also gets us there. I mean, we kind of just have to go for it here. They most likely have some sort of instant speed effect where they can make a sack. Yeah. Or the Tyrant Scorn, okay. Knight and... Really nothing, unfortunately. But I think I definitely want to put more consideration into Force of Vigor now. Which seems great. So I might take out the Gaddock Teeg. I think Thalia is okay on the play as well. I can probably drop down on something like Knight of Autumn's still okay. But is 3 too many? I think 3's fine. I think we can even do something like cut a fetch land. Sylvan Safekeeper in this game was a lot more relevant. So maybe Sylvan Safekeeper is better than the second Giver of Runes because it's something we can actually get with Green Sun Zenith. Tomik doesn't... I guess Tomik does save us from Wasteland, which is nice. So I might even just drop a Knight. And maybe something like one Crop. I think because they are a blue deck, I don't want to be hit with Crop too many times. I would love to play first. And this hand's pretty amazing. We'll keep this. So happy to go Mox first. Pitch the Savannah. Play Windswept Heath. I'm just going to fetch up a dual land here. And play Reclaimer. I'm not too scared of Wasteland because of our Ramunap. Fatal Push is fine. I think here Knight's the play. Giver of Runes. Yeah, I really like Knight here. To make a white source. Because it comes down as a 4/4 as well, it's at a bolt range. I don't really want to play the Ramunap until I can play it and also get a land back at the same turn. I'm definitely hoping this is just a Wrenn, getting back the Polluted Delta, instead of something like Tyrant Scorn. It looks just like a pass from my opponent. Which does turn on Steppe, which is nice. So if we draw a land, Reclaimer, I'm still pretty happy here to go with Ramunap. Even if they have like a sack target permanent, we can go and get Dryad Arbor, which is nice. Oh, we can also play a land. Interesting. Let's play Windswept Heath from the graveyard. Fetch up the last Savannah and play a Giver of Runes. I like Giver because it really pressures our opponent to find removal for our other threats. Abrupt Decay. Okay, let's sack Savannah. Go and get Steppe. And give pro black. Which is a great way to counter Abrupt Decay because it's uncounterable. Pro black. So maybe that's a misplay from my opponent, not playing that in their just main phase. But we'll see. If our opponent doesn't have an answer for this Ramunap, it's going to be pretty tough for them to get back because we'll be able to double Wasteland next turn. Oko's fine. We'll see what it wants to do. What did it do? +1. What? What did it do? Ah, targeting Knight. Okay. That's fine. Green Suns. I'm still pretty happy to go for the Wasteland route here. Probably go after their green mana as well. Sack this, hit that. I mean, if they have Surgical, they could Surgical in response, but it's still pretty rough. We can now attack Oko with both of these creatures. What can they do with 1 mana? Or 2 mana on their turn? I think I just like Reclaimer, and then even Green Suns for Reclaimer here. Just to turn off any sort of hand disruption as well. I don't think there's any sort of board wipe that can help my opponent here. Not even like Marsh Casualties does much. So we're going to luckily get there in game 1. Or match 1, sorry, against what looks to be 4-color Grixis. Or 4-color Control, sorry. So nice to start off with a win. Thanks for coming in and watching. My name is Dukes on Twitch. You can find me on Twitch at Dukes on Twitch on Wednesday nights, Australian Eastern Standard Time at 7:30. And usually Sunday mornings around 10 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time. So we'll hopefully see you back for match 2.